शुक्रान लिल्लाह वल्हम्दुलिल्लाह। नूर मौलाना शाह करीम हुसैनी हाजिर इमाम, या मौला मेहरबान, या मुशफिक कुशा मेहरबान मौला. We all friends have gathered here, Mawla, to discuss, understand in depth your Farman Mubarak, Mawla. Ya Mawla, Ya Mawla, it is all possible with only your mercy, Mawla. Ya Mawla Meherban, Ya Mushkil Kusha Meherban, Mawla. Please help us, Mawla. Ya Mawla, help us. Ya Ali Allah, madad farma, madad farma, madad farma. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So we have been Alright, so this is the Farman which we've been studying, Farman number 7, April 27th, 1891. And we had discussed until the fourth points, which were 4 points which were given to us by Imam. And we will start with the fifth one. So let us recite the Salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. પાંચમું ટોળું એ છે કે જેને પોતાના મા બાપને બેહાલ કર્યા હોય અને તેની બરદાશ્ત ન કરી હોય. અગર એક વખત પણ મા બાપને રંજી દિયા હોય. So the fifth advice is about parents actually. That if a child has somehow not taken care of parents, even once, if they have not taken care of parents, if they have not been tolerant of parents' need or their, behavior, I would say, because we have heard that when the child is young, they have no rationals, right? So we just tolerate children's behavior. In an elderly age, parents become like that. And the parents who have taken care of the children, now children become kind of caretaker parents to the parents who are now older, and they behave sometimes irrationally as well. So there's a lot of tolerance involved. Being able to, hold on to uncomfortable feeling, angry feeling, and being able to accept and tolerate and love regardless, which becomes very challenging because when you look at child, physically it is a child. So it is easy to forgive, forget, and say that, oh, it's a child. But when elder parents, they behave like that, it becomes very, very hard. So here children are being given that advice that even for once, if they have not tolerated their parents, it will not be, forgiven kind of. अगर एक वक्त पर माँ बाप ने रंजी दिया होए, even once, if they have disheartened the parents. So very, very strong, straightforward, harsh advice that even once. And let us ask ourselves, have we hurt our parents once, even once? We may say more than once. And then parents forgive us, So it sounds very, very harsh advice. But is it not needed? That is the question. The way our lives are changing due to the modern life demands and needs, parents are being, put into background. And if you all know, I wonder if you know, that Hazri Imam was given requests for senior homes because we have now very many elderly parents and our youngsters are working, so they cannot take care of parents. So when Imam was requested that we should have smiley senior citizen home, Imam said no. Imam did not accept that request. Imam said that our children need to take care of their parents. Is it happening? Especially in the Western world, now more also in Eastern world as well, because somehow we have moved into this Western value of nuclear family or individualistic, rights, and me and my family, parents are separate. So our values, the culture we come from, the tradition we come from, the religion, our tradition from 1400 years. Parents are to be taken care of, and we do not abandon our parents. So this is a very, very strong, harsh, very applicable advice in today's world where parents are kind of, left alone. And due to the, longevity, parents are living longer, and all the diseases and, difficulties. I feel I do not need to go into detail because it is a living fact for us in today's time that parents are suffering, elder Jamaati members are suffering. Kudos to those who really take care of senior citizens in Jamaat, because there are people who dedicate their life, and truly they are amazing, patient people who take care of elderlies in Jamaat. But it is a very difficult situation. Even our, middle-aged parents, they live alone, and children are not there when they are going through their difficult times, surgeries or health problems or whatnot. There is no one to take care of them. They are taking care of themselves. It is a very hard life we live in Western world. Imagine elderly parents. So it is next to impossible sometimes to be able to be there for our parents because we all work full time. Most of our time is at work. How do we take care of our parents? Very, very difficult situation. But Imam is saying that if anyone who have left their, like behal kariya hoy, if they've not taken care of them, they have not tolerated them, even if it is once it has happened, it will be not good. And even they've disheartened their parents once. So disheartening parents, not tolerating parents, not taking care of parents, it is, Imam is not happy with that. This is, we are reading Farman of Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah, but Hazrat Imam has same instructions for us. And how can we not take care of our parents? So physically, we all work hard, make changes in our prioritization in our life, and take care of our parents. We, take turns. If we are blessed to be having, more than two or one siblings, we take turns to take care of our parents. And that's how, you take care of your parents. But it is a challenge in today's world. There is no denying of it that it is a challenge. And it is a fact that we do need to take care of our parents. Hook or a crook, we do need to be able to take care of parents. Question here would be, is that all? Are we learning about physical care of our physical parents? Do we not know that already? Imam has to give us advice. And I would say, yes, Imam does have to give us advice, because do we not forget? And Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah, he has taught us what not, what to eat, what to drink, how to sleep, how to brush your teeth. Imam has gone into great detail of taking care of us physically. So yes, it is important for us to have that reminder. And each one of us, with all limitations, I don't deny that there are limitations. Given all the limitations we have to be able to take care of our parents. But the way we have been discussing these farmans and talking about higher understanding, tawili understanding. So what is other meaning of parents in this farman? Second meaning, which I hope that we would remember, because we do keep talking about it, there is a hadith of actually Prophet Muhammad. Prophet Muhammad says that I and Ali are parents of Ummah. I, Prophet Muhammad, and Ali are parents. So Prophet Muhammad is at the role of a father, and Maula Ali is at the role of a mother. Very strange, we see in this hadith Imam as mother. Normally, when we talk of Imam, we say Imam is Marde Mutallaq. Imam is the one man, and we all are Naris, we all are women. So, how come Imam here gets the role of a woman, of a mother? According to the time we talk about the role of Imam, in the context, it changes. Because we are talking about a hadith, a saying of Prophet Muhammad, meaning Prophet Muhammad at that time being the prophet, him being the father of the Ummah, and Imam being the Asas. Prophet Muhammad is the Natik, and Imam is the Asas who works with the Natik. His role is mother. Prophet would be at his time at the example of sun. Imam would be the example of moon. Now, this is another challenge for some of us who have understood that sun is Imam, moon is Pir, and you would be correct when you talk like that. But when you take the example of Prophet Muhammad with Maula Ali in relationship of this hadith, then it would not be incorrect to say that Prophet Muhammad being the sun and Maula Ali being the moon. Again, what are we saying by repeating this thing? According to the time and the context, it changes. The application of these principles changes according to the function and the role of the Imam. So here, when we see Imams advise about Ma is actually Maula Ali, Ba is the Prophet Muhammad. So remember, always we have to listen to the father. Mother is the nurturer, father is decision maker, traditionally speaking, So, but in this context, what are we getting to? It is actually talking about the talimat, the tanzil of the Quran, the book of the Bab, meaning the Prophet Muhammad, the father of the Ummah. He brought his book for us. We cannot leave our parents, meaning the tanzil which was brought for us and the tawil which was done by Maula Ali. Not even once. We cannot leave that. We cannot forget that. So again, very important, Ma Baap for us here as Ismaili Jamaat, talking together on August the 12th, 2023. Imam's advice for us is to remember that there are parents of Ummah, which is Prophet Muhammad and Maula Ali. Now, physically, the Natik and the Asas are no more here. The Noor is present in Hazrima, Shah Karim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. The Noor is present. But the Talimat of Prophet Muhammad, which is the book of Quran, and the deeper meaning, the Tawilat, which is, continues in the Imam, starts with Maula Ali, because Maula Ali is the Asas Imam. So we as Ismaili Jamaat, we are expected not to forget the talimat of Ma and Ba, meaning father and the mother. Tolerate whatever there is. Sometimes the farmans are difficult to follow. That is why we hear this, we refer to Imam's Farman, as Imam's Farman, that follow the Farman with conviction, not with convenience. We have to follow the Farman with conviction, not with convenience. We have tendency to listen to Faramins with, selective listening. We take what we like, we can do, and we forget about the others. That is called convenience. And we are not supposed to do that. Hazrat Imam has used these words for the educated Jamaat in today's time who understand this concept of convenience versus conviction. So I hope that we realize that today the expectation from us, yes, to take care of the physical parents, which we all understand. The second understanding which we are getting from this Farman is that, are we into studying Quran? Now, if we were to study Quran, the Tanzil, and if we start following the Tanzil, then we become Ahle Zahir. Who is Ahle Zahir? The people who follow exoteric teaching. Zahir, which is visible, which is given in the Quran. And Zahir is for Ahle Zahir, those who believe in the Zahir. We are Batiniyun. We are Batini Tariqa. Ismaili Tariqa is Hakiki Batini Tariqa of Islam. So, yes, we study the Quran not for Tanzil. In today's time, Prophet is no more there physically. The book is there. We have to study the book to dig down, go into deep, to look for the ta'wil. How are we going to get the ta'wil? With the mercy of Imam. With the mercy of Imam, because the chain of the light of Imamat is continued. The ta'wil, giving of the ta'wil is the duty, was the task, was the function of Maula Ali, who was the Asas Imam. There are different types of Imams. Those who do not know that must be shocked that there are different types of Imam. Asas Imam, it refers to the Imam who does the ta'wil, meaning who gives the deeper Batni meaning to the followers. Even in the time of Prophet Muhammad, there were people who wanted the Batin. And we read in the books that there were some classes which would go on with Prophet Muhammad, Maula Ali, and some select few individuals. And they'll be talking, very slowly discussing Quran among themselves. They would discuss the ta'wil. It is those people today are actually Ismailis. Because Ismailis are few in the whole Ummah. When you look at the whole Muslimin, Ismailis are like grain in the, salt of a grain in the whole, Ummah. We are very few. It is only the select few who get the ta'wili understanding, the deeper meaning, the batin of the Quran. Today, we should not forget the ta'wil even for once. What? Even for once? We have not even studied the ta'wil. We are today trying to understand Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah's Farman and its ta'wili meaning. Meaning we need to work hard. We cannot waste any more time. We need to learn the ta'wil of the Quran. We cannot leave our parents like that. This is what it is. It is the hukum here in this Farman to us, that in today's time we become educated, very successful, living comfortably. And we did that. What happened? Parents are no more priority. Friends are priority. My work is priority. Our roots are calling us. No, that is not us. We have to remember our parents. So see, when I say that, it means perfectly well same as physical parents. But at the same time, we do know we are talking about the ta'wil. And as Imam says very clearly that the purpose of the education which we all attained in our life is to understand the meaning of Allah's creation. Meaning. That meaning is the ta'wil. So if we have not taken care of our parents even once, how much time we have wasted in our life not learning the ta'wil? Do we all study Quran and its ta'wil? Do we have all the physical book of Quran? Journey begins physically. If we have physical Quran, then we'll say, okay, let me read this verse, let's say 41 by 53. If I mention a verse, 41 by 53, those who do not even have physical Quran, they cannot even look at that Quran. You can go online and read it, but how about having physical a book highlighting the verse because you studied the translation of it. And that verse talks about that Allah gives signs to us in the universe and within ourselves. He has given signs for us. So have we studied this verse? If it is online, I would not accept that. As your friend, I would suggest, because we all are friends, you're my brothers and sisters, journey begins physically. We have to have physical book. It's a blessing. It's a mapa. We are being told. So we love, I should show you. Quran is book of study. It's a book of education. You have to have your book, highlighted and with all the tabs you're studying. Why not? Because that is the hukum of our Imam in the Farman. So first, we do need to have not one, but several versions of translations of Quran. So we can study different outlooks of different scholars translating the different Quranic verses. And we all are educated. It's not in our parents or grandparents' time where they did not have access to schools like we had. Now we are graduates, university, education, degrees, and success through the education only limited to physical success. I think it is high time that we take this Farman and have the physical book of Quran and study the Tanzil to get into the Ta'wil. Remember, Tanzil is not for us. We are not the followers of the physical part of the religion. We are esoteric tariqah of Islam. So yes, we have to look for the Ta'wil. Where are the books of Ta'wil? Those who are seekers will find the books of Ta'wil. It's not limited. Today's time, it's a time of knowledge. There is no limitation on knowledge. Anyone wants to find out about anything, they can find out. Similarly, those who are seekers here, serious seekers, they will have no difficulty and find the Ta'wil. So this is the meaning of not neglecting parents. Are we guilty? Someone may say, oh, my parents died. Alhamdulillah, I'm not worried. I would say, take care of elderlies in Jamaat, because there are some people in Jamaat, their children cannot take care of their parents due to whatever limitation, physical, emotional, psychological, whatever it is, because there are emotional and psychological issues, gaps between parents and children, trauma and whatnot. We all now are aware of these things which are there in Jamaat. So when we are not physical children and of Jamaati elderly members, it's easier to take care of. There's no history, there's no trauma. So it's easier. So yes, we need to do that. If you don't have your parents and you have time, and if you have that calling, why not? Number one. Number two, this Mabab we are talking about is actually the Ta'wil of the Quran. In brief, when we say Mabab here, parents, it's actually the Ta'wil of the Quran. Are we studying to seek the Ta'wil of the Quran? Now, third level. So we understand the Ta'wil. I have said enough. I think that those who think they don't have parents, you do have parents in Jamaat, and you do have parents in the form of the need to learn the Ta'wil. But there is another level. Ma-Bap is also an allegory which is used for our soul and intellect. Ma-Bap is also an allegory which is used for our soul and intellect. Mother is actually our soul. Father is actually our intellect. So we have our parents with us all the time. And it will become easier when I say the way sometimes we say man, heart, nafs, all these terms, we have this constant conflict. Should I do this or should I do this? My heart says this, my brain says this. We have that tussle because we don't understand how to follow these concepts. If you are someone who has studied Gnans, you must have read the term man meaning lower mind, lower eye. In English, we might say heart, but it is not the heart. It's the desire. In reality, the proper term is nafs-e ammara, the carnal soul. So that is one aspect. And normally when we say man, we say heart, but it is not correct. Now, when you study Quran, you will see the word in Arabic, there is a word qalb. The word qalb literally means heart. But when you study that word, qalb actually means intellect as well. Why am I going into detail? The reason is that it is always in the study with details that we will understand that how beautifully our Imam has taught so much in just 2 sentences. In just 2 sentences. And we read through Farman like it's a book of story. And we don't reflect, don't understand. But there is so much for us to actually reflect and realize that Imam is saying so much. With every level of the intellect, level of education, there is material for us to reflect. Man meaning, mother meaning our soul. Father here means our intellect. This physical body is doer. We use our body due to our soul, because without soul, this body cannot act, cannot do anything, right? So soul is needed. Within the soul, when we understand the concept of soul, we have different types of souls. So the first level is the man level of soul, the carnal soul, the nafs-e ammara, janwar ki ruh. For our understanding, we are starting there, though there are mineral soul, vegetative soul, but the animal soul, which starts at the level of soul. When a child is there, they want something. If you don't give it to them, they'll start crying. I want it right now, give it to me. Instant gratification. That is the carnal soul. I want it and give it to me. I won't take it any other way. If we are being adult, behaving like children, meaning it is only the child who follows the commands, hukum, of the carnal soul. Being adult, what do? We rationalize. I'm hungry, but I'm sitting in a meeting and I cannot leave this meeting. For me personally, it's a morning time. I want to have my coffee, but I can't leave this gathering to drink my coffee. So I have to suppress that desire. How do I suppress that desire? That is my rational soul. Rational soul is also called human soul. My rational soul tells this carnal soul, yes, I see that you need it, but you can't have it. You need to wait for the right time to get that coffee. So being an adult, when we have this, rational soul comes at the age of 10 years, being able to distinguish right from wrong. Again, those who do not know about the details of these souls, again, can ask Kareem Sahib, Naveen Sahibah. I've talked about these in different sessions. It's not a title itself, but within the context of other topics, this souls, levels of souls have been discussed in great detail. So you can ask them for those lectures and you can understand that in great detail. But rational soul suppresses that carnal soul, meaning the Father in us, the intellect within us, tells this carnal soul, because soul has different levels, not to behave in that way, because you have to wait. Now, again, this is a big topic of soul, but we have taken mother as soul and father as intellect. To keep it simple, we can say that one has to listen to the needs of the soul. Soul needs nurturing. How? The way we've talked about elderly parents, right? Here we are talking in context of taking care of Ma-Baap. Our soul needs that caring, that nurturing. Do you know there is a verse in Quran which talks about, it gives us a scenery. Let me give you the scenery. In the day of judgment, it is a time of Qiyamah, accounts are being taken. A young girl will complain about her father. Why did you bury me alive? Immediately, those who know history, they will say, yes, it is mentioned in Quran because in the time of Prophet Muhammad, there was this thing that people would bury their young daughters because they all wanted to have sons. So they would bury their young daughters in the grave because they did not want to take care of the girls, because girls will need dowry and whatnot. So they would put them in the grave. So yes, again, there's a physical practice which is attached to this verse. But remember, we are seekers of ta'wil. And I would request, Nain Sahibah, Karim Sahib, to put the reference, because I would love those who read Quran, who have physical Quran, highlight that verse and write the ta'wili meaning of it, because we need to understand the ta'wil. So when we read this verse, it's a horrific tradition of the past. Is that all? No, it cannot be, because we are trying to understand the ta'wil. It is this girl, this mother. You can take it in that context, because soul is mother. What happens when you don't take care of that soul? This soul will complain as a girl to this physical person's body that you did not take care of me when I was in your body. You buried me alive. Why did you bury me alive? Why did you bury me alive? Why did we bury the soul alive? Because we did not listen to the intellect. We followed the carnal soul always. If we follow the carnal soul, we are not taking care of our parents. We have to grow up. A child of 10, 11 years, when he behaves, stubborn, temper tantrum, we say, don't behave like a baby, grow up. You are grown up. We all are grown up. So if we are grown up and we are listening to the carnal soul, meaning we have not learned the lesson, we have not grown to use the rational soul. So for us having this physical body, within our being, there is a mother and there is a father who needs nurturing and caring. Soul needs zikro ibadat. Intellect needs knowledge. Which knowledge? Ta'wili ilm. If we were to take care of our soul and our intellect, then only we are taking care of parents. Now, you come back to this Farman. अगर एक वक्त पर माँ बाप ने रंजी दिया होए, even once if we have disheartened our parents, meaning even once if we have neglected our soul and intellect, meaning now we are talking about soul at a higher level, not the carnal soul, but the rational soul. Rational soul When we use that, it helps us to get to the Holy Spirit, Ruhul Qudus, which is the higher level of the soul. Where does that soul lives? Right here, Jabin, which we call Bhamar Gufa in Gnanic language. Where does our intellect live? In our brain. So what are we saying? We are talking about actually a journey of the soul. Whose soul? My soul, your soul, each individual. But we need this example, these allegories for us to have this food for thought. So that's exactly what Imam is doing. That we think of ourselves as, oh, I'm a physical being, I get hungry, I work, I take care of physical things, and that's it. No. We have soul and we have intellect as well. Soul needs nurturing, zikr ibadat. Intellect needs not just physical knowledge, spiritual, tawili ilm, which helps us to grow further in Ruhani journey. When we do zikr ibadat, feeding our mother, soul, learn this knowledge. So, why did we do that? Because we did not listen to the carnal soul, we listened to the rational soul. Akal se humne rational soul ki baat mani, right? So what had happened now? So rational soul, meaning it helps us to serve our parents. When we do that, it elevates. Where? To the level of Bhamar Gufa. Take it in a different way, because we have to relate. Because there are very many friends, who will bring up different ginans, and I do know that. So remember, ginans, Quran, Hadith, they all are teaching one thing. But we need food for our thought, our intellect. And that's what Imam is saying. When we study these Faramins, we really have to look for Tawili meaning, not just from Ginans, from Quran, from Hadith, from Farmans. We all have to integrate it all. So, when we say Isme Azam travels up and goes to Bhamar Gufa, how does Isme Azam travel? Only if we serve our Ma and Baap both, mother and the father. Otherwise, mukh japanda piyu mile, piyu to har chuk kare, har koi kare. Everybody says, oh, my Mola, my Mola, my Mola. But piyu no paave koi. Nobody can get to Mola. Nobody can get to Mola. Jib japanta jib piyu mile, sar sata hue. I don't remember the exact word, but I'm sure those who know this Ginan, they will tell me. You can put it in the chat. Satyagur Kahir, beautiful Ginan. That if we were to just get our Mola through doing lip service, everybody, the whole world will get Mola. But that is not the reality. You cannot get Mola like that. You cannot. You have to serve both, mother and the father. So if we are only focusing on Zikr Ibadat and not on learning knowledge, which has different sources, not just Gina, not just Farman, but Quran, Ma, Baap. One of the Tawil of the Baap is the Talimat of the Prophet Muhammad, Hadith, Tawili books, books of our Buzurgware Deen. All this is there. Then we will be able to elevate that Isme Azam and become one with Imam. Maula says, Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah and other Farman, in Baitul Khal Farman, that Bihisht is here. Paradise is here. We all seek paradise. Why? Because paradise is with Imam, being with Imam. It cannot be reached if we are not taking care of our parents. How beautiful it is that we have just taken one advice and we are discussing that because it is so crucial. We cannot neglect our parents. The whole, journey on discussing Kalam-e-Mabin from the day one is actually about taking care of our soul and intellect. learning the knowledge, the tawil ilm, and we cannot neglect even once. That's the conviction which Hazimam talks about. So yes, we have to really work hard to realize. So just to complete that thought which is given in the Ginan, that the Isme Azam will travel up, and when it reaches there, it becomes Ajam Pyajam, automatic zikr. A child who takes care of their parents is the child who gets lots of duashes from parents. And it says, one of the hadiths, I'm relating because we have to relate physical, all the aspects. Prophet says that the paradise is in the feet of a mother. Physically, mother, taking care of mom, meaning that when you take care of mother and mother gives you the washes, you are going to get paradise. At a physical level, Prophet says it is so elevated that you need to take care of your mother. So those parents who take care, those children who takes care of their parents get lots of duashes. Similarly, when we take care of our soul is not crying. There's another beautiful Ginan. Til bhar tulana, khane ki dhar chalana. Right? So there are so many Ginans which talks about the agony and the pain of the soul. The Ginan verse I was trying to refer to is, I think from Seth Kahe Samro Vanotar, Jivro Sarsariye Torase, that the soul will not be able to detach from the physical body. It is so attached to physical body. Why are we talking about this? Because when we don't understand that we need to take care of our parents, meaning the soul has only been carnal soul, at the level of the carnal soul. It is very attached to physical body, very fearful of the death. A moment is never scared of death. Never scared. Even moments are those who ask for death. Which death? Again, remember there's a tabi. Yes, there's an aspect of the physical death, but then there is a death of the carnal soul, which we all see. Those who are with knowledge, they pray for it. Ya Mawla, give me that death of the carnal soul. So we can elevate and have the rational soul. When we have rational soul activated all the time, following the rational soul, the journey becomes very fast to get into one with the Holy Spirit, becoming one with the Bhamar Gufa. In today's term, it is also called the sacred sanctuary, Haziratul Quds. These terms may be very difficult or new for some, but there are so much of knowledge available of the Buzurgware Deen. They have talked about it. But then those who only study Ginan, they will understand Bhamar Gufa, and that's it. So say Bhamar Gufa, say Jabin, Haziratul Quds, sacred sanctuary, all means the same thing. But we need to know that. That's Imam's expectations. Study. We got to study. Our life is not only to study physical things and limited to that. So when we serve Ma Baap, we will be in, asal mein vaste. Paradise में जाएंगे. What is paradise? माँ बाप की खिदमत करेंगे, जन्नत में जाएंगे. माँ के पैरों के नीचे जन्नत है. Meaning, we all will get to that destination which we all want, being one with Imam. Where do we become one with Imam? In the physical living life? Here, Jabin. How do we become one with Imam? Our Isme Azam becomes Ajam Pyajab. Without being recited, it is being recited, meaning it is no more physical. There is no yali yali with the tongue going on. It is going on in the heart, and we are listening through our ears. It is constantly going on. So, is that all? No, there is so much more we can continue. We can go into the aspect of understanding soul in the intellect, but we can't do that because those study will require us to purely pick up Quran and study Quranic verses and get into the Tawil to understand the soul and the intellect. So there are, lectures on what is soul, just what is soul. Those who are serious learners, there are not one, two, but intense, there are lectures. You can pick up that journey and study that. So again, it is all for the serious seekers. How much time, how much prioritization we have done to study these things. So let's come back to this Farman again. Mola says, Panchmu Todu, the fifth group who will be taken into the day of judgment, the group of people, the fifth group of people would be those who have not taken care of their parents. For us, have we taken care of our parents? Meaning our physical parents, our spiritual parents, because Prophet Muhammad and Maula Ali are our Ruhani Maba. Yes, and we all understand Hazri Imam is our Ruhani Maba. When we say Hazri Imam is Ruhani Maba, we are correct, because the Noor of Prophet and Maula Ali is an Imam. What is the Farman of Hazri Imam? Study Quran. If you know one word, you should, know the concept. Each Mullah says, and Diamond Jubilee, right, Farman, that if you read the word Kul, it should present a concept to you. Meaning, take one word and go into details of it. Because it's a concept. Concept is a big thing. Soul is just not soul. If I'm saying what is soul has so many lectures. So imagine intellect. How much we have to study. Have we taken this as, reason of our living? There's a beautiful word in Gujarati. Malabapa in Farman says that to study Faramins and understand the deeper meaning, because the journey starts, we are smiley. So we grow up with Ginans and Farmans. But those who have made this their aim to understand the Farmans, then they'll study Ginans and they'll come back to Quran. They have to, because Quran is taught in Ginan and the Farmans. It is what is being taught to us. And if I'm able to understand this Faramins and see and can tell you these things, it's because there is a background of Quranic study. Without a study of Quran, this hidden gems which are there in Imam's Faramin, I would be blind to it, simply blind to it. Because Imam's words are full of wisdom. Hikmat chupi hui hai. Each word is enveloping concepts in it. How do we open them up and understand it? So the fifth group will be there. Question is, are we fitting in that group? If we have not understood that meaning till today, Jare jagya tyare savar. Every day is a new day. We are awake today. Where is our book of Quran? We have to take care of our father, meaning intellect. Use intellect to study the ta'wil of the Quran, which starts physically, meaning we have to take one verse, identify that verse, and then look for ta'wil in the books of the Buzurgwar-e-Deen to understand, to take care of our parents, and do not neglect our parents even for once. That's what we should be asking ourselves. We are not those who will fit into that group. No, we will not be, because we are smileys. We are in Khanavadan of Imam. We are blessed with the talimat and tawilat. Our tariqa is batni tariqa. Our peers have taught us. Our Buzurgwar-e-Deen have taught us. Imam has taught us. Our Prophet has taught us. We are the ones who are the tariqa of knowledge and wisdom. We will take this knowledge and wisdom and never neglect our soul and intellect. I will stop here. If friends have questions or comments, we'll take that. Ji Kareem.
Subhanallah, subhanallah. Shukranillah, alhamdulillah. Wonderful session. Who would have thought that just 3 lines of Maulana Sultan Muhammad Shah's Farman would require a whole session and so many different tawils behind it. Wonderful. Friends, if you have any questions or comments, then please come forward. I have a question regarding the imams. You mentioned there were different types of imams. I was wondering if you could just briefly touch on them.
Ji. Very good question. So there are 5 types of imam. First is, let's start with Hazimam. What type do we call for Hazimam? Hazimam is the imam who has the amr. He is permanent imam, mustaqar imam. And you can write down these terms, Kareem, if you don't mind. Permanent / mustaqar imam. Permanent imam is the one who sits on the gadi, who has the amr. So Maula Hazimam is the mustaqar imam, permanent imam. Then there is a term, temporary imam, or say mustawda imam. What is the other term? There's one more term. Temporary imam or mustawda imam. Example of
Entrusted imam.
Entrusted imam. Thank you, Gulzar. So write it down. Entrusted imam / temporary / mustawda. Why? Because it's all important for us to remember. The word entrusted, the way it says, the one imam on whom the word entrusted means the imam at whom the trust can be kept on. The way the word is saying, the trust can be kept on, entrusted imam. So who would be entrusted imam? Let's go to history. When Maula Ali gave the imamat to Imam Hussain, so Imam Hussain was with Amr, but history tells us that for some time, his elder brother Hassan did the work of the imamat. His brother Hassan did the work of imamat. And that is why in some books, if you were to study the books of IAS or other places, you would see this word Maulana Hassan. So he was entrusted imam, meaning mustawda imam. For time being, he was trusted with the work of imamat, but when the time came, he returned the imamat to Imam Hussain, who was the permanent imam, the imam with the amr. If we were to take another example in today's time, if we were to read Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah's will, Maula says that I give amr to my grandson Kareem. But for some reason, I'm using my own words, for some reason, if Kareem is not able to do the task, then his brother Amin can be the imam. In other words, what we are saying, what people say, I must tell you, when we don't understand the meanings, oh, why did Imam Mullah Sultan Muhammad Shah said, Shah Kareem, if he cannot be, fulfill the task? So there are, you can understand where I'm going. So I'm not going to go there. What it tells us that we do not understand Imam's formats. Imam was teaching us about types of imam in his will. Maula says Kareem is the permanent imam and Prince Amin is actually entrusted imam. Mustawda imam, the one who can be trusted with the work of imam, imamat. The one who can be trusted with the work of imamat. And we see Prince Amin Muhammad, working on so many projects with Hazrat Imam, doing the work of Imam's wishes, right? So what we did, we understood from the different examples, the permanent Imam and entrusted Imam. So these are two. The third is Mukim Imam. Imam-e Mukim. The word Mukim is the resurrector Imam. The word Mukim means the resurrector Imam. Resurrector Imam is the one who makes or brings the upcoming Natik, who gives the Isme Azam to upcoming Natik. Who would be example of that? Maulana Abu Talib. Maulana Abu Talib was the Mukim Imam who gave the Isme Azam to Prophet Muhammad. And Prophet Muhammad, through that Isme Azam, became the Natik of that time. Without Isme Azam, there is no Taraqi. Without Isme Azam, nobody can elevate. Every Natik, every Peer, every Pagambar, every Imam has to go through the Isme Azam. We all need Isme Azam. Even every prophet, you take Hazrat Adam alayhi salam, Hazrat Nuh alayhi salam, Hazrat Dawood alayhi salam, all the Natik, Pagambars, prophets, had the Isme Azam from the Imam of that time. But the Pagambar who becomes the Natik, what does that mean? There are 124,000 prophets. There are 1,24,000 Pagambar. In English, they differentiate by word of minor and major. Does not do justice, but English is a limited language. So they call it a minor prophets. Meaning 1,24,000 minor prophets, but from them there are major prophets, who we call, the proper term is Natik. Natik was Prophet Muhammad. Natik was Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam, Hazrat Nuh alayhi salam, Hazrat Isa alayhi salam, Hazrat Musa alayhi salam, Hazrat Adam alayhi salam, Hazrat Nuh alayhi salam. These are all Natik, 6 Natik. So the Prophet Muhammad, who became the Natik, how did he become the Natik? Because Imam-e Mukim gave him the Isme Azam. So he became the Natik. So Maulana Abu Talib, Maulana Imran, the father of Maula Ali, was Imam-e Mukim. So that is the third type of Imam. So how many we have done? Permanent Imam, entrusted Imam, Mukim Imam, the resurrector Imam. And the one Imam we did during the session, which was Asas Imam, the foundational Imam. Asas is actually Maula Ali. Asas Imam is the one who comes with the Natik. Asas Imam is the one who comes with the Natik to give the Ta'wil of the Shariat, of the Tanzil, which Natik brings. So the Prophet Muhammad, who was the major prophet or Natik, for us, for Smileys, even though if you're an English speaker, it is always good to learn proper terms. Because in the beginning, for English speakers, and we have English session here, you have to give these terms so their mind can understand, right? Small prophet and major prophet and minor prophet. But I would never encourage us to use that. We say Natik. Natik prophets, Paigambar. So proper term is Natik. So Natik always comes with Asas Imam, meaning Maula Ali was with him as the Asas Imam, whose task, whose function was to give the Tawilat. And that is continued in Asr Imam. So let's again review the list. Permanent, first let's say Asas Imam, because we learned that first. Asas Imam, permanent Imam, entrusted Imam, resurrector Imam, or Mukim Imam. The fifth type is the Imam of the time of Qiyamah, Imam Qayyim. And Peer says in Jinan beautifully, this term is not new for us. Qayyim Jino Varo Avse. Right? So if you are, someone who studies Ginan, go look for word Qayyim in Ginans and you'll find so many Ginans. Peer has taught us. But we have not understood Ginans because we have not studied the whole resources which are given to us to take care of our Ma-Bap. So we have not understood our Peer's Ginan as we should have been understanding. Whenever Peer was talking about Qayyim, he was talking or teaching us about the Imam of the time of Qiyamah, Imam Qayyim. So let's review again, because this is a very important, crucial lesson. Karim has asked a very important and very crucial question. So we all benefit from that. Foundation Imam, example, Maula Ali. Permanent Imam, example, Shah Karim or Imam Hussain. Entrusted Imam, example, Maulana Hassan or Prince Amin Muhammad. Mukim Imam or resurrector Imam, Maulana Abu Talib. Imam Qayyim. Imam Qayyim comes in the future when we are able to take that journey of taking care of Ma-Bap, then we are able to learn about it. So what we are saying that it is the time of Qiyamah, those who will take upon themselves to learn about Qiyamat, because we are learning in this Farman, that what will be how many or different groups will be there in the time of Qiyamah, for us to be able to understand that we do not fit in those groups, because we need to, wake up and detach ourselves and be in that group on whom Imam is proud, Imam is happy. So we are with Imam. So these are 5 types of Imams. I hope this was helpful, Kareem, and I hope this, stays with friends who did not know that. Ji.
Thank you, Niamat Sahibah. There is a follow-on question in the chat from Ferial. She asks, so the Nur is one, but it has different functions according to the time?
Beautiful. Thank you, Ferial. Yes, 100%. Nur is one, and we've been talking about the way we said Prophet Muhammad and Maula Ali was there yesterday. Today it is all in Shah Karim. Nur is one, Jama changes. And interestingly, according to time, there could be 2 manifestations, meaning the time of Prophet, there'll be Natik and Asas. But the Nur remains one and the same. And we all know that during the time of Prophet Muhammad and Maula Ali, the Nur connected in Bibi Fatima, and from Bibi Fatima is Maulana Hussain and Maulana Hassan. Ji.
Okay. Ferial has also shared the verses of the Ginan that you were asking for. They are in the chat. I will try and recite them, but they're there for anybody who wants to look them up. Okay. Friends, anybody have any questions or comments?
So for those who are Gnans today, and these are so beautiful verses, how can we not read? Sadgur kahe re piyu piyu to sab jug kare pan piyu na pave koi mukh japanda jo piyu mile to sir sata na hoye re. This is the true guide says the entire creation, does this say beloved, beloved lip service. But they just by doing the lip service, they cannot reach to the beloved, right? सतगुरु कह रहे सिर साटा जो कीजिए અને રહેણી જગાઈએ જીવ लगाइए जिक्र सुन तो साचा सिरुजन पास रे सुभान अल्लाह. Beautiful Gnan. If you sacrifice your mind, remain awake at night and occupy yourself with remembrance of the Lord, then you will be in the presence of the true Lord. So right now we are doing ilmi remembrance, zikr. It is only in zikr that we will find him. Ji. Subhanallah. Thank you, Firial.
Kareem sir, we cannot hear you. So there is one more question in the chat, and it says that it seems that you are saying being a good human being, human beings and taking care of each other, especially elderly, then taking care of our souls, seek knowledge, but with work and kids, it becomes all very difficult. How do you stay conscious about all this?
Who said it is easy, my dear? It is never easy. Nothing in the life is easy, right? So we do our best. And does mistake happen? Yes, it happens. Do our parents forgive us? Yes, they do. And do we think that our parents don't understand that we are staying busy? Again, we are smart, intelligent beings. If we take care of their needs and sometimes compromise on wants, it would be okay. Take care of the needs. Let not them be deprived of their needs. So it is difficult, no doubt about it. Every day is a new day. Every day you set an intention to do your best and do your best to take care of your children and take care of your parents. And if you remember one thing which is so important, which the new generations have forgotten, and your question reminded me, and I must say it, when you take care of your parents, when you're trying to take care of your children and let your children see how difficult it is for you, and you tell your child, I know you need this, but let me take care of my parents. Why don't you sit here and watch me? Let me do this. I need to take care of my parents. Let them witness that guilt of yours, that desire of yours to take care of your parents. Tomorrow they will take care of you. Why today we see very many youngsters not wanting to take care of their parents? Because they've never seen their parents taking care of their parents. Please take care of your parents visibly, verbally. Let your children see that you are taking care of your parents. Compromise sometimes on your children's needs. Let them see that it is okay to take, compromise on your needs so I can take care of my parents. Your children will not be there if your parents were not there. Your children are there because you are there. So remember, we owe to our parents, physical parents as well. So you take care of your parents. When we do that, action speaks louder than words. So I hope I have answered your question.
Mafi, I was on mute while I was talking.
Yeah, you were.
Okay. Friends, any further questions or comments?
यारी मदद पाएंगे
Mulari Madad.
तो फाहिमा मुझे खाली कमेंट ये बोलना है कि मम्मी पापा मतलब पेरेंट्स तो ऐसा पर याद करते मम्मी पापा को या मम्मी पापा बोलते हैं, लेकिन अब जब हम मम्मी पापा बोलेंगे ना तो ये पूरी क्लास को समझ मतलब माइंड में वो तावील के साथ कितने लेवल्स के मम्मी पापा के बारे में हमको सोचना है और सबका थैंकफुल करना है और सबकी हिदायत में रहना है और सबका टेक केयर करना है, ये अब याद रहेगा इंशाल्लाह भाई।
Ameen, Ameen. Subhanallah. All right.
Thanks. Any other questions or comments? It looks like there aren't any other questions. Thank you, Niamat Sahibah, for this wonderful session again. Inshallah, we'll meet again next week.
Ameen.
Do group number 6.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, and Yali Madad.
Yali Madad, Yali Madad.
Yali
يا
Madad.
المدد
Yali Madad, Yali Madad.
يا المدد
Yali Madad, Yasmin.
يا لمدد
Yali Madad. Yali
Yali
Madad.
Yeah, Limadad, Mola bless you, Niamat Sahibah.
Yali Madad, Nina.
Okay.
Thank you يا المدد
Malali Madad, Malali Madad.
يا لمدد
Yali Madad.